taking it live now. All right, if I can close that. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live at 8 p.m. Central every Monday. My name is Duck. I'm your head camp counselor. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Jay. Don't Mr. Me, you son of a bitch. McClintock. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Next, we got Crux. I'm going to blow your fucking head off. Crawford. Crux, how are you, sir?
What's up? I'll send you pieces of her from time to time.
Oh, shit. I didn't even pull that one. That's such a good line.
I wanted that one.
Oh, man, dude. Next, we got David. Nice curly brown hair, upstairs and down. Interested? Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
Pretty good.
Right on. And finally, we got Raph. Your husband is a murderer and a kidnapper is what's going on. Ramirez. Raph, how are you, sir?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic.
Right on. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. We watched Breakdown, starring Kurt Russell, 1997. Oh, wait. Where'd my details go? Oh, no, I lost my details page. Oh, I can't be living in this world, and I'm opening Spotify now. All right. Release date, May 2nd, 1997. Running time, 93 minutes. Budget, $36 million, with a box office of 50.2. Synopsis. A man searches for his missing wife after his car breaks down in the middle of the desert. And we also have Miles. It's not what I want, it's what you want, Francis. Miles, how are you, sir?
Oh, good, man. Sorry I'm late. I was having a little bit of car trouble.
It's all good. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I like it. All right, let's watch this trailer.
Wait, so he's driving the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
This is what Raph said earlier. He said this is just a car commercial or a Jeep commercial.
Is
That's
it
right,
though?
I've been
Like it breaks down though, right?
Yeah,
like
a single
Well,
wire.
no, they disconnected the wire.
that's true. That's
Single
true.
wire.
Jeep Corporation is not responsible for theft or vandalism to vehicles.
Yes.
Contest.
Good
You
point.
choose between
That's hilarious.
$90,000 or 90,000 donuts.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, I see gray.
You can't see it. Damn it. Why?
If I hear it, I could hear it. I just couldn't see it.
All right.
There we go.
Is that better?
What did you do?
Hang on, I
Yeah.
can't steer.
Look at that.
There's the breakdown. That's the epic part of the movie. There he is.
Our car broke down.
I can give you a ride to
Ducky,
Bell's.
don't go
Live
straight
about
to the
5
end
miles
today.
down the road. They got a
Hey,
payphone
it's
called-
trailer.
No,
dude.
first of all,
Oh, yeah.
no way am I letting my wife get in that fucking truck.
Yeah.
No way.
No. Unless if she's a
Not even 1997 am I letting that happen.
No.
Doesn't ring a bell.
They're giving away everything in this trailer.
They usually do in those 80s
Look, I don't know how
trailers.
to tell you this.
Nice.
Well, this movie came out in '97, so it's wild.
Shit.
It was this truck. I searched the truck.
He finds a gremlin. Ah!
Cop's like, this guy's a shitty trucker. He's got no load.
Yep.
All vanishing without.
Right.
I wish
Yeah,
this
it was
movie
all,
had
it was
been,
all over his wife, that's why.
Oh!
That was great.
I wish this movie had gotten more popular so they could have done a crossover with Tremors.
Oh, that
Yes.
was awesome.
And a musical that you could have been in, Miles.
Yeah, exactly. I'll play the Jeep.
You gotta protect the Donut King!
Oh, snap.
You constantly are singing about how it was because you were sabotaged, not because you were a bad car.
All right, I think that's enough of the trailer. We're just showing clips at that point. Let's talk
cool.
our history with this movie. Who all has history with it? All right, Raph, what you got?
So this is actually one of my favorite movies. I've watched it a bunch of times. It used to air on UPN 21, usually like on a Sunday or Saturday, and I would catch it all the time. I don't know why. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, I've been watching it for a long time, so I'm really glad that this movie came up. I enjoyed it then, and I enjoyed it now.
It's good, dude. Anyone else got history with it? Crux, you recommended
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I had this this friend who his grandma had like a video store's worth of dubbed video cassettes.
Dubbed. Dubbed into what?
Pirated.
Huh?
Oh, pirated. They
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
dubbed.
Sorry, like stolen. Like
Stolen. Okay.
like they weren't the original copies.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought they were like dubbed into like German or something.
No, it was when by this time like VCRs already were kind of like passe. This is when DVD players. But anyway, I was in elementary school and she had all these fucking cassettes, and he was like, "Hey, this one's good. It's Breakdown." She watches it all the time, so we watched it, and ever since then, man, it's just like Raph was saying, man, I'll randomly, throughout my life, ever since then, when I was a kid, I will randomly watch this movie. I just fucking like it. I don't know. It's like Pulp Fiction for me. I can just put this on and just fucking watch it. It's just one of those movies for me.
Yeah, I
Very
saw
cool.
this when I was a kid when it first came out. Same thing. I think we pirated it because my dad pirated everything back then. And I just remember it being really good. But the only part I remembered was the doom scene towards the end and the breakdown scene at the beginning. But everything else was a mystery to me watching it 20-something years later. So I was excited to watch it again. I just remember I really, really liked it. I liked the director. He ended up doing Terminator 3. Which is not a great movie, but
I like Terminator.
I was gonna say I don't hate Terminator 3.
I don't hate it, but it's not a great.
There's
movie.
mistakes made for sure, but
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
like
right.
it. I kind of like it. I'm Mikey. But yeah, I think this is a killer fucking movie. But we will find out what everyone else thinks. God, if I could talk. David, Miles, and Jay, you never saw it before?
No, I saw it.
I saw it as
on
well.
DVD. I saw it. It was one of those. I didn't see it in the theater, but it was a Blockbuster rental, and I enjoyed it, man. It's weird though. I haven't seen it since, so it wasn't one of those movies I like went back to. And I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan, so I don't know why, but I love the movie. And J.T. Walsh, man, last movie he made,
Mm-hmm.
great,
Really?
great character
Oh
actor.
wow.
Last one.
Yeah.
You know who else is a great character actor that was in a shitload of movies was the guy who played the trooper, the cop.
yeah.
This
I
movie.
just watched Devil's Knot, and he played the cop in that as well, which
Wow.
is a terrible movie about a very interesting true crime case. But yeah, he basically played the same character, actually.
So, Miles, what's your history?
This came out in the late 90s when I had the magical cheater device on my satellite dish
Mhm.
that made all of the channels came in. And
I'm happy to
I
know
want-
we
yeah.
all pirated everything. Across the board.
But kind of like David, I saw it once. I really enjoyed it. Also a Kurt Russell fan. Also haven't watched this movie since for whatever reason.
So weird, man. So it's good.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
good
great. I liked
movie.
it both times I watched
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't know why.
All right, well, let's get into discussing it. This is character actor
Jay,
the movie.
Jay.
Jay never saw it
Jay?
before.
Yeah. We
I
never
saw
heard
it
from-
today.
No, that counts.
He was too busy
Okay,
driving
Jay.
the car in
I-
this movie. Yeah.
I think the reason I never saw this when it came out is because I put Kurt Russell in timeout after I had to watch Escape from LA.
Oh yeah.
No, come on, those were great.
Was
No,
this
I-
before or after?
I've
that?
never seen Escape from New York, and I loved Escape from LA. I thought it was
Then-
fun.
Oh my god.
They never see Escape from New York because it'll make you hate Escape from LA because you'll realize you just watched a
movie.
ridiculous
There was
90s version of Escape from New York.
there was a
We-
scene in Escape from LA where they're playing the basketball game, and he makes a shot right at the end, right? And then they
Yeah.
did that in Alien 4, the exact same scene where she makes the shot like that. And I was just like, what is it with this basketball?
Well, they
in the
also had
future?
a very similar death game in Escape from New York. Like Escape from LA is about as much as a shot-for-shot remake,
Yeah.
but badly
But bad.
with the same director. Like I'm going off topic, but last week I watched Pet Cemetery 2, and I've got a lot of love for that movie. And I always remember thinking like how much like different it was in the original. Sure as shit, same director. So you never know, man. You never know.
So breakdown, like I said, character actor in the movie, they're just all over the place in this, acting their asses off. It's great. This is, when Crux said, "Is this a horror movie?" Yeah, it's got definitely horror elements to it. Like these villains are terrible people, and like it's implied that they raped her, and I'm like, holy shit! Like it's lightly implied, very lightly. I don't know whether it happened or not, but what they were doing to her was terrible enough. But whenever he says curly hair up top and down below, I'm like,
Yeah.
how the fuck does this motherfucker
right.
know this?
That's why he know that.
Yeah. And so, and also the fear of breaking down is real. Like last night was coming back from a comedy show, and my car all of a sudden said I had zero air in my tire, and I was like, holy shit, not right now, please. Like,
Yeah,
and,
it's never
and
fun.
yeah, and then bounce back up for some reason. I think the sensor was just broken, but that fear of breaking down is like a true thing. And he obviously the character doesn't know anything about cars. He's just guessing. Which, sorry,
I
go
was
Miles.
gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
really
crazy
worried.
that-
Oh, sorry, Raph. Go ahead. My bad.
Well, I was gonna say I had the same issue leaving the same comedy show where
Did
my
you guys
tire
roast Greasy Gordo too hard? Did he slash your tires?
my tire had a nail in it, and it went from 40 to 20 on the PSI, and I just freaked out, bro.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you,
dude,
that was
Greasy
wild.
Gordo is definitely. I don't know him well enough to know what he knows about cars, but he certainly looks like a guy that would know. He's the guy
At least he knows.
fucking
Looks like he would
greasy
know how to make
garage,
them
like-
not work, if nothing else.
According
Yeah.
to his show last night, he knows a
Nailed
lot
it.
about cocaine. So, go ahead, Miles. What were you
Shout
gonna
out
say?
to Greasy.
I was gonna say I was really worried about like the breakdown element of this movie. I was kind of thinking when I started it today that it's like this is gonna be one of those movies that like you really have to turn your brain off about like cell phones didn't exist yet and like I thought technology was essentially going to ruin the idea of this movie and I really don't think it did. Like they did a really good job of like explaining like the idea of like they did have a cell phone, it didn't work. That's still something that can happen to this day. I mean, there's probably some things that could have been saved with technology, but I was surprised by how well this 26-year-old movie felt like very believable, like could still happen to you.
100%, man. And I will tell you, as somebody who just drove through the fucking middle of nowhere desert yesterday,
Oh yeah.
there are plenty
Horrifying.
of spots, even in 2023, in between Phoenix and LA, where you just have no cell phone reception.
Nothing.
Wow.
That's terrifying. What if Crux would have went through the breakdown scenario?
I'm Kurt Russell. I got
Yeah.
my sweater tied
We would
around
have
my
dedicated
neck.
this podcast to him.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was definitely channeling his inner Zaddy vibes with this with this wardrobe choices in this bad boy.
I mean,
Oh wait, one other real quick thing that you just were talking about, Ducky, a few minutes ago that I wanted to comment on. You know how they were talking about like hair up top and down below or whatever.
Mhm.
The one thing that always takes me out of it with this movie every time I watch it is when JT Walsh is saying those same kind of things, and he's like, about what does he say? Like 25% of that whatever is pure tit or whatever. He's
yeah.
and I'm just
150
thinking like, dude, she's not even that
pounds
busty,
of
dude. What is
yeah.
this? Yeah,
No, he says about 3 or 5 pounds of that is pure.
that's
tit.
okay. Okay.
And Raph did weigh that. He did make sure that was scientifically
Yeah, I was like,
accurate. It's on his list.
Yeah, I kind of like that though because let's just say she's hot. But yeah, like the whole thing where this character who's obviously a yuppie or whatever you would call him and his wife, you know, the upper middle class people that have a little bit of money in the bank and are dealing with it. The fact that he becomes an action star, I mean, obviously it's Kurt Russell, so you know he's going to kick some ass. But like he does get the shit beat out of him quite a bit in the beginning of it, especially with the Jeep going into the water. I was shocked. I was like, what was the game plan there, dude? Like,
Dude, that
Escape.
part did also
Escape.
make me be like, guys, like there's a lot of options other than the river. That's
Yeah.
like the one place the Jeep can't go.
But that was still a great scene because you see him float away. You think he's getting away, and his dumbass goes back for a look and then gets knocked upside the head by Billy, I believe, the guy playing the retard, which also a great character.
It took
Yeah.
me forever, both the wife and Billy. I'm like, I know these actors. Why do I know these actors? And then it hit me. They're both
MTV.
in. Well, they're
Event
also
Horizon.
both in Event Horizon. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
They're
where it
all in
clicked for
tons
me.
of stuff in the 90s.
Mama Bear and Baby Bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
why was Billy pretending to be retarded and then all of a sudden he's not?
Because The Usual Suspects came out 2.5 years before this. It was
Ah,
kind of and then Primal Fear came out the year before this. So it was by this point, it was a pretty overused trope.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, and he's kind of giving away what's actually happening when he's acting that way, and then
But
Good,
the
Raph.
whole point was for them to get Kurt Russell by the river so they could kill him. That's why he was telling them what he wanted to hear. Any other way, he probably
Oh.
wouldn't believe him. So if you listen to a retard when they tell you what you want to hear, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Forrest Gump came out 3 years earlier too. So yeah,
mhm.
you
Then,
got
Then simultaneously, right after you first meet Billy, you go to the guy who's like for some reason completely out of place restaurant owner, like in the middle of nowhere where it's supposed to be a bunch of rednecks. He's like, yeah, what's going on? What can I get you, buddy?
The only employee here. I'm the only one who works here.
Yeah, but that guy, is he in on it? That's my question. He doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be, but
yeah, he's in on it.
Do you think?
I think he knows what they're up to, but he doesn't have a stake in it. I think that's what it is.
I
Like he's
gotcha.
afraid.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
guys,
good
like-
bartender. He keep a secret. That's
Hey guys, we can't use the word retard anymore. We have to use the word according to Wikipedia. Mental impairment
okay.
is what
mental
is,
impairment.
is what they refer to Billy as.
How about
he
Mental
he
impairment.
feigns mental impairment.
how about pretarded? Pretend retarded. That would work. for
Dude,
me.
that needs to be a website. And it's just it's all about actors who like went full retard to get
Sean,
an Academy
who-
Award.
Don
Who-
Penn.
Sean
Yeah.
Penn, yeah, he went.
Yeah, that was-
Rain Man, yeah, pretarded. I like that.
Retarded.
That's gonna be my new merch. I just did
Just
this
a little
copyright.
retarded.
Yeah, just a
Damn
little
it.
retarded.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Pre-read
sell
for short.
so none. Yep.
We do Riri. Yeah, that works. Riri.
Pre-read.
Pre-re,
Pre-re,
yeah.
yeah.
The old pre-re. But whenever he takes his hair down and he whips it back and forth like Willow Smith, I'm sorry. It's a
Willow
weird
Smith.
reference. Yeah, he just becomes like normal then, and so I was just like, wow, what the fuck? But like, I like all these character actors just being bad, especially the guy who plays Earl. He is just a bad motherfucker, and the character, I can't remember the guy who played him, what his name is, but he said he regretted playing this role because he was just such an evil son of a bitch. So, but
Was that Randall Tex Cobb? Was that?
I think you're right. I think that's who it was.
He used to be he used to be a boxer. I think he actually fought Muhammad Ali.
No joke.
no shit.
I think he
That's
did.
cool.
We'll see if
I mean, if
Earl.
that's not true, it's still badass. So I want it to be true.
he was the bad guy in Police Academy. I think was it 4 or 5? One of those two.
Did they go to Moscow?
No, that was 6.
Oh damn.
Or no, that was 7. Mission to Moscow.
You know your police academies, good sir.
Goddamn
80s
right I
Gold
do.
Gutenberg. 80s Gold Gutenberg.
Mission to Moscow was technically a 90s movie, but I'm not gonna hold that.
So we
Mhm.
got to talk about the action scenes. There's 4 of them. The first one being the car chase with Earl chasing him, and he goes in the river. Kind of talked about that. The
That was
second
great.
one being when they're in the car and Kurt Russell's driving. He's got Earl tied up and duct taped to the thing, and he's like, "This thing will stop on a fucking dime." I love that. I thought that was
That's
great.
my favorite.
The
He's
underneath
choking him
it,
every time he's hitting the brake.
yeah, dude, and then being underneath the truck and then cliffhangering up. I don't know what you would call that cliff. Going up the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Pointless.
I got
but
big Sideshow Bob vibes personally, but when he's underneath the truck on the way out across the desert,
Yeah.
I was expecting him to step on like 21 rakes when he got off of that thing.
No, I had a huge problem with that scene because he's running behind the truck in a very public, and there's a lot of people out there, and nobody's watching this crackhead just jump into the spare wheel rack. Like, you would think somebody would say something.
I think
but
the whole idea is the town knows what they're up to, kind of thing, maybe.
yeah.
like the
That's what
whole
I was gonna
town?
say.
That was
That's
way
what I
too
was gonna
much.
say with the diner scene when Ducky asked if they're in on it. My impression was more so those are all locals, and it's one of those like they know something bad is happening, but they just kind of want to keep their mouth shut and stay out of it because they know that really bad thing could come back on them and their families if they are the ones to
Yeah.
speak up, which is still a thing that exists. But that was like the vibe I
100%.
got from the whole diner.
I mean, yeah, there's
I thought-
definitely a possibility.
I thought that the
Yeah.
cop was going to be involved.
I did too. Yeah, I totally. I thought they were all against them. Like, and in some ways they were.
I kind of like that. I always like that kind of. I don't know if it's a trope or not, but the idea of like I guess Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the
Yeah.
first to do it.
Dead and
where-
Buried.
Yeah, dead. Oh yeah, Dead and Buried. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Since you brought it up, we guys got to get on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game if you haven't already. It's
Oh, how is that?
quite fun. I mean, it's a clone of Dead by Daylight, but with Leatherface
it's-
and the family.
That's awesome.
And they have made it unique enough. Honestly, that's harsh because I truly think they've put enough of a twist on it to make it feel a little bit different. Will it have the longevity that DVD has? Probably not, but for now, it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Hey, by the way, Dead by Daylight's coming out with an Aliens chapter,
Hell yeah, that's cool.
There you go.
and they just came out with Nick Cage, which is great because you get to play him. And he
They need to
yells
do a
out.
pack where he's both the survivor and the killer. I want to see
Oh,
both
that would be
aspects of
awesome.
Cage.
That'd be great.
Badass. Yeah.
We got distracted.
No, that's fine. That's what happens. We all have ADHD, I'm pretty sure. So
Mhm.
we all go, of course. And then the final action scene being in the barn at the end of the movie. That is fun, especially the Mexican showdown. Are you allowed to say Mexican showdown now? Is that
Yes.
I think let me look it up real quick.
Hispanic
ahead.
showdown.
Wikipedia.
Yes, Crux is
Latinx
right. It's
showdown.
Hispanic
It's the
showdown.
Latinx
I
showdown.
think it's a
Yeah.
Latinx showdown, yeah, for sure.
But we got Roth, so we can get away with it.
Yeah, I can say anything.
Raph gave us the
Raph,
green light.
do not drop the N word again. No, it's fine.
He was feeling it.
But yeah,
Get emotional sometimes.
that
I get it.
showdown in the
God.
kitchen with the kid with the shotgun is pretty cool.
That's a
Like,
good one.
I really
Man,
like
fuck
that
that
twist where the he was also just like a family man. Like his wife and kid didn't know all like the dirty deeds that were going down, and like that made that whole sequence like a lot more, I guess, fun to watch in a weird way, just because the wife was obviously loyal to her husband until she kind of got to the point where she's like, oh shit, like my husband has a woman locked up in the secret hole in our barn.
I love the fact that like she tries to help her out of the fridge and she's like, "Get away from me!" I was
Nope,
like, proper,
Too late.
Proper
You
reaction.
did not offer me a cold beverage. We're not doing this.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get the epic. I guess there's 5 scenes. You get the epic chase at the end where you got the semi and the 2 trucks,
3 cars.
and
two
the
cars.
3, and the Jeep, and then I love it
He
whenever
pulled
Bill-
its own against the semis.
Yeah, dude, with Billy.
This is the Jeep commercial. God damn it.
Yeah, when Billy flips the his
It
car
was
and it
Firebird?
explodes, I literally
Arrow?
cheered. I was so happy. And I know that's one of Jay hates that when people cheer in movies, but
What?
I was like, yeah.
I didn't say I hate when people cheer at movies.
Oh, I thought you did.
Well,
I
you just
do.
said you hated it when people cheered at Oppenheimer. You thought that was weird.
Did people cheer at Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
Only in
well,
the
it was
post-credit
me.
scene.
They did.
It was
He
me.
did it.
Americans.
Nobody cheered at Oppenheimer.
And I when they tested it, I was like, USA, USA, and Jay's like, shut up.
Quit screaming! These colors don't run, David. It's okay.
He pulled out a shotgun and shot it in the theater.
I
Yeah,
was like, you try
sparklers.
this in a small town. That doesn't even make sense.
Wow.
But yeah,
We were wacky.
that final chase scene and the final battle on the overpass, just so much fun. Just ridiculous, over the top. No one would have survived that. I like it when the semi goes through the trailer. I thought that was cool, and it just rips it to pieces. Just a fun action movie, and like it's a '90s action movie. Does it feel like a '90s movie to you guys?
Yes,
Yeah, very much.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I don't
Did you see
understand
that
is that
Nokia phone?
it opened at #1, but I thought it would have done a lot more money than it did. I mean, it was a good movie.
I mean, for 1997, that's pretty good, right? They weren't.
When did it come out? What like week?
It
What
was like
the opening
March
week?
3rd or something like that.
Wow.
Was
Yeah.
that Titanic too going on?
No, Titanic didn't come out to December, but around March would have been the Star Wars re-releases in '97. So that was probably
How
pretty
do
tough
you
climb.
remember this?
Because I'm Jay.
Yes.
Hey Jay, what's
Computer.
Kurt Russell's birthday?
It's March 1951. I want to say 17th. Let's see how close I am.
Oh my God,
Wow.
this is
He's gonna
insane.
be-
St. Patty's Day.
Do you remember that show, The Nerds, on Comedy Central? And they had like the
Briefly, yeah.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh,
like
my
Jay should have
God.
been the movie nerd on that. Like where like you have to attack the nerds or whatever it was.
He's our movie
Yeah.
nerd.
We should bring that show back and just have Jay be one of the. I was
Just
just thinking,
another thing about when it came out too. This is not right at the end, but this is heading towards the end of an era where you could put movies out like this, like a movie that's not like a gigantic, huge, like big time blockbuster. It's not a superhero movie. It's not like now you got to make, in order for movies to be a big success now, because of the way society is and the internet, social media, and the way that, you know, pirating is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you put big movies out in theaters now, you have to make it a big fucking event,
Yeah.
like in order to justify the budgets. This is back when studios had the money still to put out just regular kind of just stories of just shit happening. You know what I mean?
And this was an expensive movie to make, wasn't it? I mean, for
30
back then, 36
30,
million.
yeah,
a lot of
million.
money.
Yeah.
We
I
might
mean,
be
It barely
reaching.
made its box office. It barely made its budget
Yeah,
back.
it
This is
made
probably
50,
a
I
loss.
think.
This is probably a loss when
With
you consider
marketing?
marketing. Yeah.
Yep. Yep,
we might
you're
be
right.
retreading like an old conversation we had on one of these recently, but I feel like this is the victim of like what Crux was saying, where there isn't like a double A or A movie. Everything has to be like triple A, big budget, knock out of the park. There is, or just a complete indie film. There is literally nowhere in between, and it's a real shame because you miss out on some really gems like this one.
I'm looking at the release date. It was released on May 2nd of '97, and back then, the hot week was definitely Memorial Day. So May 2nd was definitely kind of considered like the last of the basically January through April and like the very beginning of May. That was where you generally saw your weakest releases.
Yeah.
Because you just there's a couple of reasons. One, I heard this when I was working in the movie theater back in '97, is that most of their workforce are high school students, so you don't really have as much labor as you will in the summer. So that was the same. It got released about a month before Lost World 2 did. So
Oh wow.
or Lost World Jurassic Park 2 came out. So
You were talking about the budget too. I doubt this had a huge effect on it, but I did read that Kurt Russell had a lot of very special treatment on set on this one because he basically didn't really want to do it. He had just come off of the Escape from LA and he wanted a break to be with his family. And I believe it was the director got them to agree that he would have a maximum of 12 hours on set each day, and they would fly him basically privately in a helicopter to and from his family at night. So basically he got to go home and spend time with his family every single night. They would fly him in, get him into makeup. They would do like a little bit of shooting. They do lunch. He'd do like 4 hours of shooting and he'd fly home. That was basically
I guarantee you that ballooned the budget.
Yeah.
He needed to go see Wyatt Russell. That's why.
The helicopter brides.
Honestly, though, like this movie, if it came out now, would come out on Netflix or something like that. Like it, you know what I mean?
It'd be a 10-part series.
Yeah, it'd be a 10-part series. It'd be like the future.
You can make it.
But like just like Twisted Metal just came out. Like that's a pretty decently like action oriented TV show that came out. It feels kind of like this. It's kind of like a pays homage to movies like this from the 90s, and I kind of dig that. I don't know if anyone else watched Twisted Metal. It wasn't great.
Not yet.
I like Twisted Metal. I'm a defender of it.
It is what it is. I mean, it's not high art by any means, but I thought they did a lot of fun stuff with the source material.
Yeah, it was fun.
It has me hyped for a season 2 that we'll probably never get.
Yeah. No, we'll probably get that.
You think so? I don't think it made enough buzz.
It was the number one. It was the number one show on Peacock or whatever
for like 3 days.
Not saying much. It is
Paramount Plus, whatever it was.
If it's on Paramount, then it was only until the next season of Survivor starts, bro. Like it just doesn't make enough waves.
I hear you. So yeah, with this movie, does anyone, Raph, you got a list?
So a couple things. It really does show how good the Jeep handling was when he avoids both of those wrecks. The first one on the highway when he dodges a truck, and then the second one when he's running from the guy near the river, and then he dodges that the front loader there. But what I really did, I could not stop laughing was like if they would have took that scene when he crashes into the river, and then they would have been like, your Jeep, it also doubles as a boat.
It just drives out, yeah.
It's shitty bang bang.
At the end of the movie, it comes driving itself up to rescue the wife. Dripping water behind it.
That'd be great.
That's great.
So, again, I really did like the plot of the guy disconnecting the wires and then telling him later, it's like, you shouldn't have left your hood open. That's how the breakdown happened. The guy confesses to ripping the wires out or loose because, again, Jeep wouldn't have just allowed them to show a car break down and not be a reason behind it.
And that's why like I love how he's just sitting there just fucking shitting on him for that whole truck ride. Shouldn't let you good, fucking yuppie piece of shit. We saw you coming from a mile away, you dumbass motherfucker. Like just tearing him down.
I have a slight actually moment when it comes to, and only because I've been driving a Dodge Neon for the better part of 12 years, so I have a lot of experience with repairing a car. But basically, the part they unhooked was his lighting harness for the right light. So you had to kind of suspend a little bit of disbelief
You mean
You're
that
like-
doesn't make every part of the car fail simultaneously?
And the other part is he goes, you should have left your hood open. Well, you didn't use the hood to do that.
It
You
was on the
clearly were
bottom.
underneath the car. So
Exactly.
I got a couple of little RAF checkpoints for you. So boom.
Yeah, even when
enjoying
he
it.
tries to tear the car down too, he still kind of gives it a compliment to show you all the compliments about the car. He's like, yeah, these things with their advanced computers that make things very convenient, that run so well and make it easier. Hey, can't trust them, man.
It's a Jeep. There's only one.
I just want to say I love it when Crux does voices because he becomes a completely different person. Like it's
great,
awesome,
was.
dude. What else you got, Raph?
When Kurt Russell finally pulls the 18-wheeler over and the cops letting the guy go away, man, bro, I got goosebumps when he looked at the guy and he's like, no hard feelings, but I hope you find your wife. Because
Oh,
you knew he had her. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you have her somewhere. So that was pretty crazy.
That's
And
a
then
great point. Great movie. Great point in the movie.
And then Billy does tell him, well, don't, or let me see, I got it here. Billy tells him, don't you see the cops are in on it too? Billy tells him that, but the cops, because then you start thinking the cops are involved, especially when the cop tells him, like, go see my deputy in town. And then when he does go see the deputy in town, you see the walls covered with females. They all kind of look like his wife.
I'll be right
So
back.
they've been
y'all.
doing it for a long time.
All right, let's start talking shit about Duck while he's gone.
dude, a good puppy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, what's up?
I have it confirmed on Oppenheimer. There was a gloved hand pushing Florence Pugh's head into the bathtub.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I got some doing some research. Apparently, the guy I thought was Randall Tex Cobb was MC Gainey from Con
Okay.
Air, and Randall Tex Cobb
Okay.
did not fight Muhammad Ali. He fought Larry Holmes.
Oh,
So,
Okay.
Close.
So yeah,
Pretty
that
dope.
was
And that's the
MC
guy that
Gainey.
played.
MC Gainey. He's the pilot. He was the pilot in Con Air. So he was rocking and rolling, man. He had a busy summer between this and Con Air.
When was
Let's
Con
talk
Air?
about
97?
Con Air.
97.
Con Air's another great movie.
Con Air was a huge hit, man. That was
Huge
massive,
hit.
wasn't it?
And that's
Was
a
that-
movie
was you-
that a lot of people think Michael Bay directed, but didn't. That's a big Mandela effect when it comes to that movie.
Interesting.
I would've- I
It's
would've
all
said-
the
I would've
explosions,
thought
I'm
that.
guessing.
And
You can't
Nicolas
forget-
Cage.
You can't
And
forget
Nicolas
Dave
Cage, yeah.
Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's in it too.
Oh yeah, he gets stuck
Yeah.
in the tire.
It's also a movie that because it came out too early, that doesn't have it, but it would have been a great movie to have Nickelback have the soundtrack.
Oh my gosh, don't tease me.
That would have ruined it.
Don't do
No,
that.
wouldn't have.
All right.
I'll stand Nickelback.
So back to this. So
Yeah, that's
the
why
last thing is yeah, all the females on the board, you can see them. There are a bunch of white females missing. And then when they're at the barn, you see all the stuff from the people they've killed, all the video cameras and clothes on top of the barn, like where Kurt Russell sneaks in. So then you could just imagine how many women they have killed or how many people. And they also talk about killing the couple from Ohio. Like, you should have just done them real clean like that. So yeah, this one just got out of hand for them. It was real unprofessional for murderers to let them get away like that.
Well, it was super like when they got the lady out and they're like, "Up, she's not moving, must be dead. We're good, just bury her."
Suicide.
It's like, come on, guys.
I like how quickly that kid grabbed that gun. That kid had been getting some great Christmases with all the loot they've been stealing from everybody. Here comes Kurt Russell about to rain on his parade. He wasn't gonna let that happen. That kid was ready. That kid had been practicing.
Well,
Yeah.
practicing on Doom.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
Yeah,
that was
that's right. Yeah.
the Sega Saturn version of Doom 2, which would have been super expensive back then. So yeah, they were making some money.
He
They were
gets
getting-
that in.
They were
He
getting
did
there.
he just brought home $90,000 bonus for this one trip. So
Yeah,
I think he
dude.
can afford it. Yeah.
100%.
So this would have made for a badass second movie if it's the kid older and he's searching for Kurt Russell to kill him
oh,
because he left him without a
Ooh.
daddy.
yeah. Well,
So,
they
I don't
didn't.
He
know,
didn't,
that
and he
would've been
didn't see the
badass.
big reveal of the woman being in his basement, so it would have been perfectly.
Yeah,
rational.
he would
Yeah,
never
the
know what
kid did
happened.
Break down 2, you killed my paw.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome kill. Again, the 18-wheeler, the lady that was in the again his wife, Kurt Russell's wife. releases the gear handle, making the truck go forward, and then that 18-wheeler just falling and crushing the guy after he fell onto those rocks. So he was already in pain, just watching this thing come down towards him. It was an awesome ending. I loved it.
So originally
again,
in the script,
great
it was
film.
supposed to be Kurt Russell who pulled it, but like while they were filming, he's like, have her pull it instead. So
Oh, nice.
it makes it a kind of like a little more vengeful, you know. So
The main villain, the truck driver, he also edited his own script at one point because he basically crossed out every line that wasn't about getting the money. And he's like, anything that has like me being emotionally invested in this just makes my character seem weak.
Wow.
And
wow.
they took that edit and they actually like trimmed his lines significantly, which sounds to me like that dude was also just like tired of having to memorize lines. Like, it's like, what do I do to get a break
See
here?
this work?
I get the same paycheck for a third of the work now.
well,
He was dying, wasn't he? Didn't he have cancer or something?
Yeah, this was
Probably,
his
yeah.
last movie, I believe. I'm not sure if it was this one or if there was another one after, but he died shortly after this. But he was in over 60 films. He was known for playing the villain most of the time or the heavy. And I mean, just like I said, just character actors in the movie. And I love character actors in the movie. Those are the best because these guys that you're like, oh, that guy. And he's actually in the documentary, Oh, That Guy, which is about character
Yeah,
actors.
that's a great movie.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Another
but-
great
That one
character
guy from that
actor.
One thing.
Emmett Walsh, another great Walsh character actor.
What'd you say, Crux?
Oh, there's another movie about documentary about character actors called That Guy from That One Thing.
Yeah.
No, seriously, there is.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the screen. You recognize him. So,
Nice.
all right. Well, let's go to recommend. Jay, do you recommend Breakdown?
Hell yeah, man! I feel really bad. I waited all these years to watch Breakdown, but you know, ironically, the day I was going to watch Breakdown, I saw Father's Day with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal, and I think we can all agree that Robin Williams has the best J.T. Walsh quote of all time when he looks at him in Good Morning Vietnam and goes, "I've never seen a man in more dire need of a blowjob in all my life." You think of every time he was on screen. But no, I really totally recommend. I loved it. Hour and a half popcorn thriller, easy digestion, easy squeezy. Loved it.
Very nice. Miles, do you recommend it?
100%, dude. And I actually I made the comment when I was watching earlier too. This movie has almost zero fat. Like it's two people in a car and the action starts almost instantly and it pretty much doesn't let up for, like Jay said, 90 minutes straight through. It's easy to watch, and I also am kind of thinking this one will become like a Crux style background movie for me whenever I need something to, you know, fill the silence or whatever.
Very nice. David, do you recommend Breakdown?
Yeah, man, I do. I'm kind of bummed out that it doesn't really have like a cult following. You know, it just seems kind of forgotten, and it's such a shame. It's a really, really good movie.
Hell yeah. Raph, do you recommend it?
Absolutely. We could start that cult following if you want, because this is a great film.
We meet up with robes on and get the VHS tape and put it in the middle of the pentagram.
For real. I don't know about all that, but
Yeah, we're gonna.
What'd you say about a pentagram? Okay,
I know,
I'm
dude.
in.
I noticed that hat. That's badass.
Thank you so much.
But,
I recommend it 100%. I love
Oh,
it.
hell
It's
yeah.
such a great movie.
very nice. And Crux, do you recommend it?
Absolutely. This was my recommendation for this week's episode. So absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I will recommend it also. It is a great movie. Very much holds up. I think it's a fun watch. Every time we watch a Kurt Russell movie on this podcast, we have a good time. So hopefully that continues. But he just has a way of choosing good movies to be in and kills it when he's in them. So big ups to Kurt Russell. I did go through a phase of my life where I didn't like Kurt Russell movies, but I changed that.
When was that?
Back when I was an idiot. So
Yesterday?
What was the
Yeah.
last Kurt Russell movie we did?
Tango and Cash.
We did, yes, Tango and Cash.
Is this the first unanimous recommendation we've had in a while? It feels
I
like
think so,
it.
yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did
Good job,
The
Crux.
Thing, and we did.
The Thing.
What was the other one? We've done another
Great
one
one.
too.
I think it was just The Thing.
Yeah.
The
Classic.
Thing, great, one of the greatest movies of all time. Thank you very much.
He's not known for horror, so that's why I don't think you'd really see him in a bunch.
I'll remember it later. I'm positive we've done another one.
Is it just real quick question, guys? Is there? I know I want to go on the Thing rant. Is there a movie that was so hated but is now so beloved more than The Thing? Just a quick question. That when it was so hated when it came out, but is now considered an absolute classic. Because that to me is so
Armageddon,
strange.
No.
Oh my God.
Monster Squad.
Independence
Oh,
Day.
that's a
Or
good
maybe
run.
that's the opposite.
Independence Day was a huge hit, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm wrong.
That was at the time it was the highest grossing movie of all time.
But people hated it.
Yeah.
But that just something to think about. Just something to think about. I don't know the answer, but I'm just curious.
I'm still
Something.
trying to figure out what the other Kurt Russell movie we watched was.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China.
We haven't watched
Was
that
that Kurt
yet.
Russell? We haven't watched it. Okay.
Yeah,
You know, I think you're Mandela affecting Duck. I think you're thinking that he was the main character in They Live, but it wasn't. It was Roddy Piper.
You're right. I might be thinking that. All right, well, let's watch some clips of this bad boy. Let's watch some clips.
Didn't we do Bone Tomahawk?
That's
there
what
we
it
go.
was.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good call, Raph.
Good
I knew
job,
we
Rob.
watched
Love
another
that
one.
movie.
That was a
I
great
love
one.
Kurt Russell in westerns.
I'm just not a
So good.
Western guy.
His fault. What
mustache.
the fuck? It is his fault that he almost hits them. He's not looking. It's Kurt
Nah,
Russell's
that-
fault.
he pulled out.
Onto the highway like that, bro. Fuck that guy.
Man, did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled right out in front of me.
Yeah.
Took my eyes off the road for a second, but I mean, come on.
Killed
All
us.
right, she's not
You
that
even
hot.
care that you damn near killed us back there, boy?
I didn't really even see you, okay?
I think I got enough hair that I could do that hair, that beard thing.
I mean, you kind of pulled out in front of me.
Like hell I did. I saw what happened.
Let's just forget this, okay? I mean, I'm sorry it ever happened. I don't want any trouble.
Was he in
No,
Conan
I
the
bet you
Barbarian?
Who, MC Gainey?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
90,000 donuts.
You can choose between $90,000 or 90,000 donuts.
That means each of those donuts is $1, right? So, okay, meet the villain.
Oh, who would do
Tell
that?
you
I'm
what.
still trying to figure out which fat ass would do that.
Me. I don't want the money. Give me the donuts.
Are they
I
all
can give you-
powdered donuts too? Can you get the chocolate ones?
Just the powdered, baby.
You ride to
Alright.
Bell's, little diner about 5 miles down the road. They got a payphone. You call a tow truck. They just come in and haul you out.
Sure you all right?
I'll be fine, honey.
She is so beautiful. Showing off some skin there.
Yeah, how
God
would you
damn it,
allow
dude.
your woman to get on the 18-wheeler?
I know everybody said it a bunch of times, man, but JT, he did such a good, he's such a good actor.
He's such a good actor. They all in on it.
Hey, the man here's looking for his wife. Doc can't.
Oh, listen up.
Oh, I here.
Baseball cap. Has anybody here seen him?
So they're in the middle of like Phoenix, Arizona, right? Why does he have a Jersey accent?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
running-
people from New Jersey aren't allowed to live in Arizona.
That was
The thing is, guys, if you read the novelization, he's actually
yes.
running away from the mob. He's
Protective
actually
yeah,
service.
I
Yeah.
can see that. I get that.
Yes.
But
Pull over.
And that's why he's allowing the murders to happen. He knows better.
Yep. Snitches get rewarded.
Fuck you.
Nah, bro.
Never seen you.
What the hell are you doing, buddy?
I was trying to get you
This
to
is
pull
the
over.
best.
Didn't you see me?
Yeah.
This is when my nerves started going up. I'm like,
Never
oh my
mind.
Yeah.
God, no way.
I'm looking for my wife.
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've never seen you before in my
I'm
life.
fucking seeing you, bro.
so good.
It's the po-po.
That's real quick. Just that's the adrenaline inducing part in this movie. Just like Raphael was talking about, it's even worse right when the cop shows up and then when that moment when Kurt Russell looks at him, when he looks at JT Walsh's character and he goes, "What are you doing?" Like
Yeah.
that's when it's like,
Yeah.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
JT Walsh,
batteries dropped.
He totally sells
Yeah.
it too, and that he doesn't know him. And for a
Yeah.
moment, I was like, "Is this like his twin brother or something like that?"
It's like holy shit.
Now I saw her. She was with this guy in his truck.
Officer,
Now he's saying he's
Giving him
never
a
seen
hand
her.
job.
officer, I don't know what he's talking about.
Don't lie, you son of a bitch!
All right, calm down.
Ooh, bro.
Missing
You know,
people.
there's over 100,000 people go missing in this country every year. Runaways,
Look at all those women.
deadbeat dads, dropouts, folks hiding from
That's
the
horrifying, man.
Bro.
IRS, all vanishing
So
without a
many.
trace.
I'm not saying that your wife is one of them.
And believe me, the FBI won't even look at your
This guy was never in another movie.
case until it's been 24 hours.
Fake out.
Amy?
Oh,
Yeah, the guy's fucking with him in there. It's like, you should go check the restroom.
See, they're in on it. That's why.
Yeah.
Got him. Yeah, got him.
The fucking slips.
You calling me a liar? I'm gonna see these fucking slips.
Why is he gonna shoot him over some slips?
Yeah, that's aggressive. I thought it was
Just about enough.
Texas for a second.
Pretarded. Pretend retarded. So you wrote it down.
Nice.
Well, they think I'm a dummy, but I ain't. I'm gonna get my trucker's license one day.
It's Earl, my favorite character in the movie.
Get out of the car now.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
He's going swimming.
That was a great scene. Like, oh shit, he's getting away.
I like how it goes from stunt double to Kurt Russell to stunt double to Kurt Russell. That is definitely not Kurt Russell right there.
Yeah, all right.
Long hair, don't care.
Hey, you all right?
Now I'm evil.
Now you can't see my ears. My hair covers it.
According to your wife, you got a good pile of cash sitting in your bank account at home. Is that true?
What?
What you want?
What do you want?
It's not what I want. It's what you want. How bad you want it, because it is going to cost you. Can't show it to you right now. But it's about 5'5", 115 pounds, 3 or 4 of that just pure tit. Nice
Oh my
quality brown
God.
hair, upstairs and down.
They totally raped
Interested?
her. It's
Time to
terrible.
Get the show on the road.
Suspense. This scene is kind of pointless whenever everything's said and done. He's got to get the money.
Can't
but-
call anyone. Do you understand? The whole town's under surveillance. Forget.
Yeah, but also if he didn't make any attempt to try to get out of it, it would have made him less sympathetic. I think. Like I
You're
think
right.
you need to see the desperation, and when that guy shows up and is like, "Are you the guy I need to see about a house loan?" It's like you realize how much of a like they've got eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
Accident. Minor.
And it just, like you said, reinforces the whole town's behind it.
Nah, I'm just kind of. How long is this gonna take?
Money, money, money.
Just throw the money right up here on this seat.
No. First, you tell me where she is.
Wrong, asshole. First you give me the money and then you find out. Unless you want me just to shoot your ass dead right here on the side of the highway.
There you go. It's a ducking dime. I didn't do that on purpose.
You want me to stop? You really want me to stop? Because I bet this baby stops on a fucking dime.
That's a great, great fucking delivery of that line.
Bro, I love that.
Earl's dead.
That was definitely a Jack Burton moment.
Yeah, that was a great.
He wouldn't have been able to hit him with that little gun from that far away.
Oh, got him. This stupid fucking kid right here. He's retarded.
Well,
basically wicking the window.
It was like, what the fuck?
I really wanted Kurt Russell to wave right there. I know he's holding on to the bottom of a truck, but it would just been so funny if he was just like.
What you got, Jay?
I thought that was a really missed opportunity to make that the kid.
Yeah, I thought when I was clipping it back, I was like, that'd be interesting if it was the same kid. It's the dead wife.
All right, honey. Time to get up. Let's go. Come on, come on. Come on, move it.
I love the cinematography
Get
in
up.
this movie. They did a hell of a job.
Suicide.
Yeah, from the beginning to the end, they did great.
He's just so evil. 10 minutes.
Damn it! Cut your fucking squirming!
Oh, come on, baby. It's not as bad as it sounds. It'll take you about 10 minutes to suck all that air out. Probably won't even feel it.
He's just so evil. It's perfect. But my favorite part of the movie is right here. The Doom.
The
So I
nice ass TV.
Yeah, I can't confirm, but yeah, but look at all the shit this kid's got. Like, he's being spoiled like a motherfucker.
He's got a key card.
Yeah.
Look, you can see the pentagram on the screen where you froze it.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
That's wild.
That's
Evil.
the beginning of our cult right there.
Well, he's rocking the plasma cannon, which is not as good a weapon as most people think.
And the sound effects. The shotgun kid.
My daddy keeps his rifle loaded all the time. He showed me in case I need to protect mommy when he's away.
Squeeze that trigger, go on.
Do it!
Oh, got him! Got the fatty. They got fridged.
You made it, baby. Come on.
Honestly, if you think about it from that woman, the other woman's perspective, his wife, like that's gotta be like she's having just as big of a mindfuck moment than anybody else in this movie is.
Absolutely.
She knows that all these goods ain't coming from truck hauls.
She just refuses to accept the reality.
I literally have no idea how much a truck driver made. So
He
if I
thought he
made
was
a
a
truck driver and they were
coyote.
like,
They make
yeah,
good money,
it
man.
pays $100,000 a delivery, I'd be like, hey, that's dope. More people. should do
Nowadays,
this.
it really does. There's such a massive shortage, but
They
yeah.
can make, they can make good money, but not that good.
Yeah.
So that's why most truck drivers kidnap Kurt Russell's wife.
That's why, yeah.
Trailer smash. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Never saw it in a movie. Freaking awesome. I love it anytime a movie can show me something new.
Yeah.
Car kaboom.
20 million alone just on that
I love it.
Fuck yeah.
You can see that it's a dummy when it was sliding. Billy's dead.
trailer. Great
Billy.
explosion too.
Kaiser Billy is dead.
Ramming speed.
That's great too. Her leg being pinned, you're like, ah, shit, she's done for.
Yeah.
It's got the chain. Don't you never break the chain. Get him, Kurt Russell.
He's like, fuck you. Fucked up, buddy.
There it is. Fuck that guy.
Happy birthday to the ground.
I like that it's the wife that did it. I love that she was the one that released it.
Pretty cool. All right, y'all.
Look at that Karen. Look at that Karen pose she's giving right there in the
Look at
post.
that beauty. Every time I see it, I think she's pregnant because of the corner of the G
Yeah,
sticking out.
yeah.
Like, it always,
That's a
I
bad
have
look.
to take a double take every single time.
He lost a bet. They had to go with this poster.
All right, that was Breakdown. What a great movie. Let's do some recommendations. My first one will be a not so great movie, but it falls in line with this. It will be Black Dog, the Armageddon to Deep Impact of Breakdown, in my opinion, starring Patrick Swayze. And this movie is just about big rigs and big rig drivers. And Meatloaf's in it, and it's not great, but he is awesome at the end of it when he goes psycho. So I love a Meatloaf overacting. I think it's one of the funnest things to watch ever. Oh, yeah, Randy Travis is in it, too. I forgot about that.
Nice.
All right, and then my second one will be, because of big trucks, Maximum Overdrive. I mean, come on, if you're going to talk about truck movies,
Hell
you gotta go
yes.
to the
Good one.
good one, yes. So
If we do this movie, we all have to do cocaine because that's what Stephen King was on when he was making it. So we got to be in the spirit. We got
Did
to
you
be
ever
in the
hear
spirit.
about the uncut version of this that never got released because it was getting
There wasn't much
X?
that Stephen King had around this time that wasn't uncut, but
yeah, there it is.
What happened with this specifically, dude?
Well, it was incredibly gory. Like it was so gory, it got an X rating, and
Oh,
they had to
shit.
cut it. Yeah, it was that
There's
bad.
Lisa
Probably for
Simpson
kids.
for a
Yeah.
brief moment. Yeah.
Yep. So I definitely recommend this. They play gay chicken in this movie a couple times, and it's pretty
Ooh.
great.
And
That's
regular
his favorite
chicken, to be
part.
fair.
Yeah. All right. Anyone got any recommendations, truck related or not? It don't matter.
I believe it or not, Doc, there is more than one Meatloaf movie that deals with trucks that came around this time. It came out in the year 2000, and it stars Meatloaf as the bad guy and Lachlan Monroe, who you might remember from Night at the Roxbury and Freddy vs. Jason. He played the cop that actually liked the kids. He's the main character. He's the good guy, and his wife gets abducted, and his wife is played by Kristen Davis from Sex and the City.
Oh,
And
wow.
it is very similar.
What's the
plotline
name of the
to-
movie?
It's called Black Top. Black Top.
Black Top. So he started in one called Black Dog and another one called Black Top.
It might have been the sequel.
He
I
didn't
don't
get
know.
very far through the alphabet with his scripts that he was reading.
He had Spice World, then he had Black Dog, then he had
Spice
Black
World.
Top.
Fight Club.
Oh yeah, he was in Fight Club, that little movie.
Bob.
that
Yeah.
tiny little movie.
There is one recommendation I'd like to make. So you know the scene where he reaches for the thermos and he looks back at the windshield and he almost hits the guy in the truck, right? I'd just like to let you guys know on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee, front-end sensors would have never let that happen. That's right, guys. It's fully equipped with all the highest rated Sadies.
That's awesome.
This is true. Has anyone else had a recommendation?
Yeah, I
Duel.
got two.
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Duel?
well, I
Who
got-
said Duel?
Crocs
Yeah.
did.
No, David did.
David?
Yeah, David said it. Yeah, Duel was that Spielberg's first movie, right?
It was a made for TV movie.
Yep. What you got,
Never heard of
Raph?
it. Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh
Dude, the
yeah.
arm wrestling
Phenomenal.
movie, dude.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a truck driver in that one. And then Smokey and the Bandit. You cannot forget Smokey.
Hell
and the
yeah.
Oh, no, you cannot.
There you go.
And Road Warrior. If you want trucks, fucking
Bandit.
Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Miles, you got one?
I'll
for
switch
Upside Down?
gears slightly. I recommend the movie Hard Rain with Christian Slater. It's Christian Slater and Ed Asner are, instead of a couple driving across the desert, they are armored truck drivers in Florida. And Morgan Freeman is the bad guy in that one. They take advantage and basically they rob the armored truck during a hurricane. It's not a great movie, but it's a fun movie that gives me similar vibes. And there's a very small but very hilarious part by Betty White in that movie that brings it just that flair of comic edge that it needs.
Very
Nice.
nice. Crux, you got one?
I want to ask you guys, actually. I don't have one to advise with, but I wanted to ask you guys because I knew you guys would know. Other than like Good Morning Vietnam, stuff like that, what are some other good JT Walsh like villain movies? Like, what are some of the best ones?
I would say
You have to go
Jay
to the
would
wiki.
know. Yeah.
I can only really think of Good Morning Vietnam. JT Walsh is not like a cornerstone of like most of his movies. I don't remember. Actually, and a lot of times I get him confused with the guy who one of the guys from Roadhouse. For the longest time, I was convinced that it was Lance Henriksen and JT Walsh on this episode of Tales from the Crypt, where it's two gamblers, but it's not him; it's somebody else. So I get him confused a lot with this other guy. So I don't have a lot off the top of my head.
Misery, Backdraft,
Backdraft, God,
Backdraft,
Loaded
the greatest
Weapon
Kurt Russell
number
movie.
1, which I would love to watch again.
Yeah, because like I could look up a list, but I was just wondering out of that list what you guys think would be the best. So, but that's okay.
Best.
I don't know.
He has an incredible filmography, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy was in Tequila Sunrise. That was another Kurt Russell movie. Man, this guy,
Oh, shit.
him and Kurt, they go back.
You got the same agent.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on. All right. Well, with that said, it's time where they can find you on the internet. If you have any shows coming up, Raph, where can they find you?
Little House on the Parody on YouTube and Instagram, and I have a show in September. Hopefully, I'll get booked here soon and get some more shows. I'll let you guys know.
Very nice. David, where can they find you on the internet?
Children of Dave on Instagram, and then September 2nd, I'll be hosting a burlesque show at Divas.
Very nice. Crux, where can they find you?
At CRUX Crawford on all of the socials, and that's also where you can see shows I got coming up this Wednesday. I'm at Addison Improv for Dezo.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yay!
Dezo Deal and Friends. It's going to be an awesome show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool. And then you got the Crux Yeah podcast, of course.
Crux Yeah podcast, of course. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you can check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you listen to podcasts, and YouTube for the visuals.
Very nice. Miles, sorry. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere online at Mr. Most Days Off. Tomorrow, I am on the biggest bringer in the entire country. That'll be taking place at the Plano House of Comedy. Just one night only for me. I'm roasting my friend Jamie Jakes at Reno's this Friday, and I'll be at the Hyenas Red Room this Saturday night.
Very nice.
Nice.
Jay's bringing back Ego Phoenix, but he's going to Salem. Is that correct?
Well, no, I'm going to Salem at the end of the month, but which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, I chose the Journey into Fear. So I think I'm gonna do mostly movies that have to do with traveling. I think that'd be because I'll be
That's
traveling.
awesome.
So I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
So
Are you
Dead and
dri- are
Buried,
you-
Dead and Buried might make the
Yes.
cut.
Are you driving or flying?
Oh no, we're definitely flying. Yeah, my buddy Thrash, he had the idea. He said he wants to go to somewhere kind of fun and spooky. And last time I was in Boston, they said Salem's just the place to be. But apparently it's incredibly packed, which is fine. But yeah, it's you don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to drive all the way from Texas up to Massachusetts. And
I'm super jealous, by the way. That looks like it's going to be a blast.
It should be. It should be.
Don't bring back any ghosts.
Oh man. He's gonna. And you can check us out at wearepodcast.podbean, where you can find all the podcasts. Check out the Act Out podcast. I do that for the Improv Comedy, the Improv TX Comedy Network. You can find us at social media /wearepodcast everywhere. And you can find us every Monday at 8 p.m. Central discussing horror movies. Next week will be Chopping Mall. Yes, that is Raph's pick. Are you going to change it, Raph, or are you sticking with that? Hell yeah.
Nah,
So
honestly, if y'all
Mall
want
it
to
is.
do that other movie. No, I don't want to do that scary movie yet. I'll
Okay,
wait till
Chop-
October.
What movie is that?
The A23 film, Talk to Me.
Talk to me.
Oh,
That
A24.
movie's
Yeah, we can do
That movie's fire.
Bro,
I gotta check that out, man.
I'm scared just talking about it.
It's really good.
It's so
amazing.
good.
Right? I've heard about it.
The movie doesn't work though without that performance from the lead actress. She
She's
is
so solid,
knocks it
dude.
out of the park.
I thought she was channeling her inner Helen Kyle for a lot of that movie.
Helen
Who's that?
Keller.
Very Helen Kyle from
From-
Candyman.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely
Yes.
The
yes,
the
yes.
gaslighting and whatever, no one believing her, all that stuff.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. I won't leave anymore. No more spoilers.
All right, cool.
And you know what I loved about that movie too, Jay, is it really it's modern and how it really incorporates what would really happen in a situation like that. They would all get their fucking phones out and put it on TikTok is what would happen.
Yeah.
You know, so they really did a good job with that.
Gotta create that content, baby. All
Yep.
right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Keep horror in your heart. Please keep it in your heart. And with that said, we will see you next week. All right, guys. Thank you again. And cut.